Now we're gonna interview Carla. She's gonna answer some questions about sleep deprived. So, are you ready, Carla?
Yes.
Yeah. So, let's begin with the first one. Do you feel that you are sleep deprived as a student?
Yes.
The second one. How many hours of sleep do you feel you need in a night to function well the next day?
At least 8 hours.
Okay. That is a lot. Okay. The third one. During the test week, what would you say your average hours of sleep are per night?
7 hours.
On a day where you did not get sufficient sleep the night before, do you find it harder to stay awake focused during your classes?
No.
Do you feel that you have less energy or motivation throughout the day when you have less sleep than needed the night before?
Yes.
And how often would you say stress interferes with your ability to fall asleep through the night?
Not that thing.
And state what the causes of your stress are from.
Family problems.
The next one, what other factor diminish the quality or quantity of your sleep?
Involvement in extracurricular activities.
And do you experience negative mood or behavioral change when you have had consecutive days of insufficient sleep?
Yes.
And the last one, do you feel that your academic performance is hindered due to insufficient sleep?
Yes.
So that's all, Carla, and thanks. Okay. Yeah, so now we're going to interview Isaac, and he's going to answer some questions. So the first question is, do you feel that you are sleep deprived as a student?
Yes.
And how many hours of sleep do you feel you need in a night to finish your work the next day?
8 hours.
During the test week, what would you say your average hour of sleep are per night?
5 hours.
On a day where you did not get sufficient sleep the night before, did you find it harder to stay awake focusing during your classes?
Yes.
Do you feel that you have less energy motivation throughout the day when you have less sleep than needed the night before?
Yes.
How often would you say stress interferes with your ability to fall asleep through the night?
Some way often.
And state what the causes of the stress are from.
Worry about the future.
What other factors diminish the quality or quantity of your sleep?
Not tired at night. I am night owl.
Oh. Do you experience negative mood, behavioral change when you have had consecutive days of insufficient sleep?
Yes.
Do you feel that your academic performance is hindered due to insufficient sleep?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. That's all we're going to interview Andrea. She's going to answer some questions about the sleep deprived. So Andrea, are you ready?
Yes.
So let's start with the first one. Do you feel that you are sleep deprived as a student?
Yes.
And how many hours of sleep do you feel you need in a night to function well the next day?
At least 8 hours.
And during the test week, what would you say your average hours of sleep are per night?
6 hours.
On a day where you did not get sufficient sleep the night before, do you find it harder to stay awake or focus during your classes?
No.
No. Oh. And do you feel that you have less energy or motivation throughout the day when you have less sleep than needed the night before?
Yes.
And how often would you say stress interferes with your ability to fall asleep through the night?
Somewhat often.
And state what the causes of the stress are from.
Worry about the future.
That's normal. And the next one, what other factor diminish the quality or quantity of your sleep?
Involvement extracurriculars.
Activities?
Yes.
And do you experience negative mood or behavioral change when you have had consecutive days of insufficient sleep?
Yes.
And the last one, do you feel that your academic performance is hindered due to insufficient sleep?
Yes.
So that's all Andre. Okay, now we're gonna interview Josue. He's gonna answer some questions about sleep deprived. So the first question is, do you feel that you are sleep deprived as a student?
Yes.
The second one, how many hours of sleep do you feel you need in a night to function correctly?
6 hours.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay. During the test week, what would you say your average hours of sleep are per night?
4 hours.
On that day where you did not get sufficient sleep the night before, do you find it harder to stay awake during your classes?
Yes.
Do you feel that you have less energy and motivation throughout the day when you have less sleep than needed the night before?
Yes.
How often would you say stress interferes with your ability to fall asleep through the night?
Very often.
State what the causes of your stress are from.
Relationships.
What other factor diminish the quality or quantity of your sleep? Check all that. Right?
Apply students.
Do you experience negative mood, behavioral change when you have had consecutive days of insufficient sleep?
Yes.
And the last one, do you feel that your academic performance is hindered due to insufficient sleep?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Now we're going to interview Maria Lisa. She's going to answer some questions about sleep deprived. So let's go with the first one. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you feel that you are sleep deprived as a student?
Yes.
How many hours of sleep do you feel you need in a night to function well the next day?
At least 7 hours.
Oh. During the test week, what would you say your average hours of sleep are per night?
I think 4 hours.
On a day where you did not get insufficient sleep the night before, do you find it harder to stay awake during your classes?
Yes.
Do you feel that you have less energy and motivation throughout the day when you have less sleep than needed the night before?
Yes.
How often would you say stress interferes with your ability to fall asleep through the night?
Someone after.
Next one, state what the causes of your stress are from.
Worry about the future.
What other factor diminish the quality or quantity of your sleep?
Apply studying.
Do you experience negative mood or behavioral change when you have had consecutive days of insufficient sleep?
Yes.
Do you feel that your academic performance is hindered due to insufficient sleep?
No.
No. Okay, thanks, Mary.